Hello, my friends, and welcome to Kurt Bergland's Sports Book Reviews. You know, every once in a while I come up across a football book that is pretty darn good. And I've got to say, this is one that I have discovered and I can strongly endorse for you. It's called The Ultimate Super Bowl Book. A complete reference to the stats, stars, and stories behind football's biggest game and why the best team won. The writer is Bob McGinn, who used to be a writer for the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel covering the Green Bay Packers. Bob McGinn, if you never read his stuff for the Journal-Sentinel in Milwaukee, maybe the best sports writer I've ever come across. This guy, they gave him pages of column inches to dissect every Packer game, to preview the upcoming games, upcoming Packer games, and to sort of do a end of season review report card, if you will. This guy knows football like very few other people, and even more importantly, he knows how to write. Which, believe me, is a rare combo. If you can find someone that understands football and knows how to write, heads explode all over this great land of ours. The book has a 2009 copyright. It is currently available in secondhand online booksellers, not difficult to find. If you don't have this in your football book collection, you need to get it there. In fact, the book could even use a second edition. The book goes through from Super Bowl I to Super Bowl, I got to take my socks and shoes off, 43. In 2009, the Steelers and Cardinals is the last Super Bowl game that is included in this particular volume. I'm not sure if it's been given a second edition. I don't believe that it has been. This is in paperback. I'm not aware of a hardcover version. There may be one, but I haven't seen it. The page number is almost 400 pages. There are pictures. There is an index. Love it when a book has an index, because it allows you to not have to go through in sequential order. If you're doing research, you can find what you're looking for. There aren't endnotes because he's doing his own research here. He did a lot of individual interviews with the folks that obviously were still alive to talk about these games. And he is capable, unlike so many folks, he's capable of breaking down the game and explaining to you why, for example, in Super Bowl VIII, why the Minnesota Vikings defense had so much trouble with the Miami Dolphins, and he's able to go beyond saying, well, the Dolphins were just better, and leaving it at that, but explaining why they were better, what made them better in the matchup with the Purple People Eaters. I learned a lot of new stuff in the book as well. The Super Bowl VII, where he talks about George Allen having 2 weeks to prepare. His team didn't really know how to manage that very well, and the team peaked too early. And they didn't have a lot left for Super Bowl VII when they took on the undefeated Dolphins. even though I think I knew this, but I had forgotten it, that the Redskins were favored in that game, even though the Dolphins were undefeated. So kind of, I mean, there's little stuff like that, but then there's also the bigger stuff, the research that he did that uncovers the amount of intense preparation the first half of the 2 weeks that kind of ruined it for the Redskins in terms of their ability to peak in time for the game, whereas opposed to Don Shula, understanding his experience led him to understand how to organize your 2-week period. Really, I mean, and then there's the matchups. He understands the matchups, what made one player better than another, what made one matchup different than another. I'm thinking here about Super Bowl 11. He's writing about the ability of the Oakland Raiders offensive line to basically manhandle the Vikings, the smaller Minnesota Vikings offense, and really even dive into why they were so unsuccessful in those Super Bowl defeats that they had in starting in 1970 and going into through 1970, January of 1977. Those 4 losses that they had and why that was. Bob McGinn is really good at the whys. The book is published by MVP Books. It has a 2009 copyright. If you are a football fan, or even if you're just a casual football fan, you're going to learn something from the book. It's written in an engaging fashion. Again, the index, the pictures, you're good to go. Almost 400 pages of football learning is ahead of you and written in an engaging, lively style. The Ultimate Super Bowl book by Bob McGinn. Pick it up. You'll be glad that you did. Thank you for being with me. Lots more coming on my channel. Be sure to click like and subscribe and leave a comment if you've read the book. Thank you so much. Have a great evening. So long, everybody.